tonight. We've got Kabaka Pyramid coming in from Jamaica, and we've got Earl coming from an undisclosed location in the Midlands.
Yeah, Cannock. Yeah, I mean, and Cannock, man. It's all deers. Load of deer run around here, man. Like wild, you know what I mean? You got to watch yourself in your car.
Oh, I thought you meant old deers.
Nah, man. One's with antlers.
Cool. Well, listen, we've got a lot of people tuning in tonight on various different types and forms of social media. So as usual, this is going to stream for 20 minutes on sort of Facebook and Twitter and YouTube. And then people need to dive over to the UB40 app, which they can get from the App Store or the Android Store. And then they can continue to watch there. But what has become customary over recent weeks is that we go to Jimmy Brown first and we ask him about his background.
Well, today I thought it would be worth having a little reminder of just how elegant and sophisticated our Prime Minister is. I mean, how dignified can it be for a man in the position that he's in? I mean, just look at the state.
The epitome of dignity.
Absolutely.
If you zoom in and you look a little bit closer, he's actually giving Donald Trump a ride on the back. Oh dear. Well, listen, we've got all kinds of stuff to discuss tonight. But how's everybody doing? How's everybody holding up in these lockdown times? How's Kabaka doing?
I'm doing great. I'm doing all right. You know, Jamaica, it's not too bad over here with the numbers and stuff, but we've had lockdown measures and quarantines and curfews and everything. So
yeah, if you got to be locked down, Jamaica's not a bad place to be locked down.
It's not a bad place. Yeah. Not a bad place at all. Not a bad place at all. You know, we just did a live stream with Chronix them in a nice location in Ocherius. You know, we performed on the pool, like beachside and stuff. It was crazy. Yeah, in Ochi.
Who is that? Just you and Chronix?
Yeah, we know Ochi really well.
It was Chronix. It was Chronix's stream, and he featured me, Leela, and Jesse Raya.
All right.
Yeah. I watched it, man. It was wicked.
You watched it?
It was really nice.
Yeah, I watched it live, man. It was cool, man. Wicked.
God, you're so in touch, kid. How'd you do it?
Know everything.
It's got to be, man.
He does know everything that's going on. Mm-hmm. Absolutely. Network boy.
Well, speaking of what's been going on, obviously, Kabaka Pyramid featured on UB40's most recent album, For the Many, on a fantastic track, Broken Man. Is that a track that Norman, obviously Norman took lead vocals, Norman Hassan, but did Norman write that as well?
He did, yeah.
Yeah.
Very unusual for Norman. He actually wrote it. Yeah.
Nice.
He does write he does write quite a few lyrics, but they don't always get on the album. If you know what I mean. Like a lot of stuff don't get on. You know what I mean.
No, make a cut, you know?
Robin helped him out on it as well. But yeah, love that tune.
It's a great track. It's a really good deep bassy track. And what was your experience? What was your experience, Kabaka, in terms of coming together with the band to collaborate on that? Can you talk us through how that came about and what was your experience?
Well, I think it was an email we got reaching out to have me listen to a couple tracks that were, you know, being positioned to be on the album. And, you know, immediately I was like, yeah, I need to do this. You know, let me check out what I go on. And I listened about 10 tracks, I believe. About 10 were sent, and that one immediately stood out to me. You know, it was like a no-brainer. Just the sound of it, you know, that real drum and bass sound, that almost like Sly and Robbie's sound, you know what I mean? Just like heavy dub vibe and just obviously the consciousness in the lyrics, like it really just talking about what so many people going through in this day and age. And yeah, I just felt like a Kabaka song to me, you know?
It had a militant rhythm.
Yeah, militant. You know, that's my vibe already.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
When you were listening to these sort of 9 or 10 tracks, were you listening to the actual versions with the existing vocals on, or was it just the backing track?
Yeah, I think that they all had Because I think the whole album has like dub towards the end of each track, right? Or at least most of them.
Yeah.
So I think that's how I heard most of them. They seemed, pretty complete with some spaces left out. I just figured that the dub section was where I would just, feature on, and that's where I kind of wrote my verse. There was some dub effects over that section, so it ended up being that. So yeah, I think most of the songs had vocals and everything on it, but I just know that that's the track that stood out totally.
I think it would have been Matt that sent you them, wouldn't it, Matt?
Yeah.
You get in touch with Kabaka in the first place, yeah?
Yeah. I was in touch with Kabaka's management. And,
it was dealing with Abishai.
Yeah. And we were just firing things backwards and forwards, and it was just one of them, and it came back, and it was just stood out, of course.
Well, I know how much.
I think I was on tour at the time, actually, too.
Yeah.
I think I recorded that verse. I might have been. No, I don't think it was. I don't think I was on the Jamrock cruise, but I think I was on tour when I recorded that verse. I remember being on the road. Yeah, and it's I like to bring my setup with me everywhere I go.
Yeah, being on the road, it's like a distant memory, innit? I forgot what I do for a living now.
Yeah, it's like
it's mash up in it.
It's like one bag of memories just mashed together.
Well, it's funny actually because Kabaka, have you ever met UB40 before? Have you ever met the band members, or is it all been a remote thing?
Yeah, all been remote.
Okay. So that must mean then you're the first and only person to actually go on a full European and American tour with the band without actually being there, because recently they've introduced you and played the track.
Oh yeah, that was crazy to see. Crazy to see. Like I remember seeing some tweets and some posts about it, like, and actually watching video footage and seeing the band. That was crazy. It almost felt like I was there,
Yeah. Well, obviously the audience really reacted to it. You know what I mean? Because obviously the Jamaican North Wheel. Of course. So like it just lifted. You know what I mean? Just lifts the track.
Lift the vibe.
And obviously it's good for us as well to bounce off. You know what I mean? So yeah.
And Norman does his bit.
We need to do it in real life, like
that'd be wicked, man. Yeah.
Well, let's have what says we have a listen to it? Let's have a listen to the track, Matty, if we can, and then we'll talk a little bit about the lyrical content and what's behind it.
Great.
Shattered on the ground, broken words, no words to be found. Broken promises lost on the wind, broken life broken from within, broken love money just can't buy, broken world passing each one by. Fading like the sun, broken man who's loving no one, broken song that no one will sing, broken forever, lost everything. No one's too old, no one's to kiss, no life to live. No one's too old, no one's to kiss, no life to live. My dear heart's broken. Broken tears running down my face, broken heart beating out of pace, broken dreams shattered on the ground, broken words, no words to be found. can buy. Broken world, passing each one by. Broken smile fading like the sun. Broken man who's loving no one. Broken song that no one will sing. Broken forever, lost everything. No one's too old, no one's too kiss, no life to live. No one's too old, no one's too kiss,
oh yeah,
no life to live.
We're living in isolation, so it's said from day one. Even family members, them have no communication. What a situation, of have no education. Taken from our homeland, we need some reparation to stop the starvation of the population. Looking for elevation, no front to the congregation. They need a meditation, mental stimulation, herbal medication to stop the inflammation. I'm spreading information to each and every nation. What a tribulation in a desperation. We are in from creation. We don't need no immigration. Break down the borders, them that we all await upon law.
No one's too old, no one's too kiss, no life to live. No one's too old, no one's too kiss, no life to live. My still heart's broken.
Very nice.
Fantastic tune, and Kabaka, you'll just have to unmute yourself.
Oh yeah, sure.
That's the drill.
I was kind of overdubbing there, you know.
Wicked rap, man.
Yeah.
Wicked rap. The second we heard that, we knew that was going on the album, not the collaboration. It just lifted the song, you know. It just lifted it another level. It was wicked.
Yeah. I kind of took like a different approach, like melody wise, and even my vocal tone that I normally do. You know, it's just I felt like I had to do something different and just keep that same melody going and that vibe. I just never want to stop, you know.
Yeah.
But
yeah, it doesn't sound like you traditionally. Do you know what I mean?
Exactly.
It's got a different feel, but it's wicked. I love it.
Yeah, man.
And was the lyrical content specifically written for, you know, with this track in mind, or did you already have the idea for these lyrics and you pulled it together that way? No,
man, it was definitely for the song. I don't think I actually wrote it down. I think like I just put the song in, probably I think I was using Ableton and just started vibing to it, and just, you know, as the lyrics come, I just record it. But it was definitely based on the vibe of the song. You know, the whole broken man.
Yeah.
And all, you know, what he was going to, you know, with the lyrics. I was thinking like, all right, why are we broken? You know what I mean? And I'm looking at it from that perspective. And now, you know, we're just in this age now where we're living in isolation. And it's almost prophetic, because we see even more with this COVID stuff now, how it manifesting, and it's crazy. And then the whole, you know, Brexit was happening, and Trump and all the immigration stuff happening in the US. And it's just everything just felt like the whole system broken to me. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
for real.
Earl, you've written a couple of tracks along that theme, haven't you? You know, Trump and things breaking up and all sorts.
Trump, yeah.
Definitely.
Yeah, well, you know, I mean, I was one of the people that instigated, you know, to do a new album with like new lyrics on it, new songs. You know what I mean?
Nice.
And we only ended up with with one cover. Do you know what I mean? It's basically because I was like, come on, boys. There's all these things going on in the world. If you can't write some songs about, you know what I mean?
Exactly.
And then everybody just started like, yeah, you know what I mean, vibing off it, and yeah.
So how you guys
I
go about
wrote one about Trump.
How you guys go about producing them things? Like everybody in the band plays on all the tracks, or like this? Cause this rhythm now, it sound like it could have been like all the drums could have been live, but it sound like it could have been programmed with some live stuff. Like, you know, what was the whole vibe with the production of this track?
You know, we do a combination of things, you know, because we record audio. So you have you do a drum take, but then you can do anything you like with it. You know, you can change the sounds, you can
trigger the snare and trigger the kick and
Yeah, so you know, I'm not sure there's such a thing as live or machine anymore because they're both, you know, yeah, exactly. Yeah, it's like with CGI with movies. You know, you say, well, what's real and what's CGI, and go, well, actually, it's both. You know,
they're blending them together now.
They're all blending it all together. Yeah, because you know, in the end, the machines give you control over the sound. You know, that you don't really have with just a lot of microphones in front of
you. For sure.
But everything we do starts with these two guys down the bottom, starts with drum and bass, you know, everything.
Of course. Nice.
And we write lyrics separately. We all write out individual lyrics separately and come to and bring them to the band, you know.
Nice. And,
yeah, it's usually like,
and then we pick them to the different backings that we've been. We can have as many as 30 or 40 pieces of music.
Yeah.
With no songs on, you know. And then we write a dozen sets of lyrics, and we'll pick from those tunes.
Pick the best.
Yeah. What fits the song for us?
Exactly.
You know?
Got you.
All right. Cool. Well, speaking of
trial and error and very slow.
Yeah, I mean that's how it should be still. You know, organic.
Yeah, man. Yeah, absolutely.
Speaking of recording, what I think we could do with doing is listening to one of Kabaka's recent tracks, and then perhaps having a chat about it. And just a quick reminder that whilst this track's playing, this stream is going to end for those people that are not on the app. So
everybody get on the app. Get the app.
Yeah.
We're going to send Earl around with his dog and his skateboard to get you. So
what should Cocker Spaniel?
So we'll have a listen to what about tribulation? Do you want to give that a quick introduction, Kabaka?
Yeah, sure. This actually a song that I wrote with a friend of mine called Madison. He's a very talented songwriter and artist, and it's produced by Damian Marley's Keys, a young Poe. And it's just talking about you know, more stuff about what's happening in society, especially in countries like Jamaica, where you're almost like a refugee in your own land. So this one is Tribulation.
Wicked.
Young Poe is a long time. The people them not hear no truth. No one is a strong mind. You are fear for revolute. I me say what a situation. Boy, man a chant for liberation. Boy, every man of them own a right for have a piece of land. Make we agree no man. I me say what a situation. I hit a mash of this nation. Man a turn refugee in a them own land. Can't even afford for own land. West Skibbly bang bang. No pity in a Kingston city for the poor and the destitute. Yeah, them so wicked in a system. Them want to lock we out. And them institute without no education. Man a fit at the raggy road, chasing paper without no land to call their own. Rent still have to pay for. Children have been slave ones. Span this modern day plantation. What a situation. I hit a mash of this nation. Man a turn refugee in a them own land. Can't even afford for own land. I me say what a separation. I hit a mash of this nation. As refugees in our own land. Can't even afford for own land. Oh Lord, rebel to the end, a man a singing for your cause. Living in this land is like you locked behind the bars. And everywhere me turn, me can spot another bar, another church. Who them worshiping must the God of war. How them gonna reach us, some me need for know. Gunshot a beat just like a TV show. And the politician them greedy, yo. Take away the taxpayer, the money, and in debt them run go leave we, yo. Them dirty dealing, and not see him deceiving. Marcus Garvey speak it and them never believe him. We should have believed in self-reliance teaching, and we should be leaving to the east this evening. Them colonial shit steam soon fade out. Everybody deserve to live them days out. On a piece of earth where you have a heap of word. Freedom not free, coming like a curse. What a situation. I hit a mash up this nation. Man a turn refugee in a them own land. Can't even afford for own land. I me say what a sufferation. I hit a mash up this nation. As refugees in our own land. Can't even afford for own land. Young power is a long time. The people them not hear no truth. No one is as strong mind. You are fear revolute. I me say what a tribulation. Man a try for liberation. Every man have them own a right for have a piece of land. I say what a situation. I hit a mash of this nation. Man a turn refugee in a them own land. Can't even afford for own land. I me say what a sufferation. I hit a mash of this nation. Man a turn refugee in a them own land. Can't even afford for own land. Lord.
Awesome track. But Jimmy, has the wind picked up where you are? Just unmute yourself, Jim. Just everybody can unmute themselves.
You have to unmute yourself, Jim. Unmute yourself.